Good morning, America, YouTubers, brothers and sisters in Christ, Red State Watcher. We're going to have about 7 pieces of news here. It's just coming at us like crazy this morning. The liberal movement to get rid of Donald Trump is really going rampant right now. Start off with Jill Stein's election recount is being paid for by a bot. As I said, it's being paid for by George Soros. It would make perfect sense that a bot is paying for it. It's all a cover-up. Mem describes the absurdity of Jill Stein's recount effort. Busted Reddit CEO caught tampering with Trump supporters' comments. Wow, Jill Stein's recount donations are non-refundable too. Bernie Sanders supporters tell fake news media salon to stop lying about Trump. Clinton voters threaten to kill electoral college members. And Jill Stein has discovered a page right out of the Clinton Foundation playbook. Of course, she's another crony, and it's amazing. She turned her back on Hillary Clinton during the fight for presidency, totally attacking her, but now all of a sudden she's doing the complete opposite. This is exactly what the far left does continually. Alright, so starting with busted Jill Stein's election recount is being paid for by a bot. Jill Stein has just raised more money in 24 hours for her Wisconsin, Mississippi, I believe, or Michigan. I'm not sure of the and Pennsylvania recount initiative than she did for the entire duration of her 2016 presidential campaign. That's right, because the global elites didn't want her as president. They wanted Hillary. So she's raising money to get Hillary back. Makes perfect sense. Think about that. Where is the money coming from? It sure isn't her campaign supporters, George Soros. Continuing on here, Jill Stein raised enough money for a recount in 3 states, as I said. And Jim Stone writes, November 23rd, 2 days ago, Jill Stein's election recount is being paid for by a bot. A bot is pulling cash from a central fund and giving it out at a predetermined rate. Go to Jill Stein's fundraiser page and watch the progress. You will see that her funding is coming in at a perfectly consistent $160,000 an hour. How does that one work? It doesn't. I watched this yesterday and last night carefully and noted that at night when everyone is sleeping and right through the time when the whole world slows down, her donations for this came in like clockwork with no deviation from the steady pace whatsoever. Fraud. Once again, the only way that can happen is if a bot was set up to fake her getting donations from multiple people, and whoever set it up did not consider the fact that practically everyone would come from America, and practically everyone is asleep at 3 a.m. Last night it should have slowed down. It did not. It just marched right toward the finish like an obedient soldier. It went straight to 2.65 million by 6 a.m. I can calculate it will go to 4.5 million in 28.125 hours. Oh, a few people will pitch in for real, so I'll say 27 hours. Easy math. Jill Stein will get the 4.5 million she needs between 4 and 6 p.m. tonight, depending on how much real people pitch in. Actual math progression based on the steady rate lands squarely on 6:10 p.m. tonight, but I'm guessing a few real people will pay in. Don't be fooled by the slick language on the donation page. If those donations did not virtually stop at night, they are not coming from the American people. Yes, folks, we are watching the election steal as it happens from George Soros and the Clinton Foundation. They could not do it by threatening electors, so now we have this. And it is all based on false claims because Michigan cannot be hacked. Michigan has a certified vote. There is no way this is legit, and that means one thing. There are liars doing it. Powerful liars who know in advance they are going to find what they are looking for. Anonymous sent this. It's over, folks. They're absolutely taking this from Trump. If you were able to see these stories they already have prepared for us to start running next week, your jaw would hit the ground. They're going to find that the results were indeed hacked. They have everything set in place and have been ready to play this out for over a week. All 3 states, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, are going to be reversed and awarded to Hillary Clinton. Speculate on who is pulling the strings, but this is going to happen. Start preparing for the news to come now. My response: Michigan had all paper ballots and cannot be hacked, but that won't stop liars of the caliber we are up against. Michigan has a different vote counting process than other states. First, Michigan does a quick count, then automatically they do a certified count. That count was certified today. It is an unhackable process. If Hillary takes Michigan when Michigan can't be hacked and the vote is certified, it will prove fraud of the highest order. Pukable Swiss commentator ripping Trump on Mex TV at 1 a.m. Good time slot. Final answer: bullying electors with death threats. And we've already seen this from Michael Bonarian. Did not work, so now they are going to force a recount only in states Trump won. There is nothing we can do about this. We need everyone possible to get off work and be there to witness the recount. What else can I say? Jill Stein raised enough money to steal the election from Trump via recount in only 5 hours? She raised enough to trigger a recount in Wisconsin, and the other 2 states are cheaper. She's got it. Trump may have taken Michigan today, but that will not make a difference. Jill Stein demanded a recount and the election will be rigged. They have had all the time they need to fill out a whole bunch of blank ballots and throw the election to Hillary. No one was watching. It happened. Game over. All 3 states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, will be thrown to Hillary. It is over, according to Anonymous. So that is how they plan to steal it all along, since Election Day at least. And Hillary can skate free, saying, I did not do it, when you know damn well she did. Every last request Jill Stein has will be answered, and every last request Trump asks for will be denied. There will be absolutely nothing that can be done to stop it, because they would not have done this unless they knew for certain they had it in the bag. Details: they had a bunch of fake computer consultants state there were voting anomalies in favor of Trump and that they proved Russia rigged the vote. On these grounds, Green Party candidate Jill Stein called for a recount and was handed all the money she needed to do it in a single day. In the background leading up to this, obviously, they wrote in a huge number of fake ballots for Hillary. The recount will discover all these new votes for Hillary, and she's going in. At a bare minimum, they will appoint someone other than Trump. They would not be doing this unless they knew they had it in the bag. They are saying the election was hacked when Pennsylvania does not even have a way to hack it. They are brazenly lying about everything. The MSM is backing them up, and Google is destroying dissent. And all the comment sections are open for a change with 100% trollage in favor of it. Or when a real opinion is allowed, they have it perfectly answered and bashed into the ground. This is such a brazen steal, they would not even think of doing it unless they knew for sure they have it in the bag. Well, they think they have it in the bag, just like they think they had Clinton in the bag for the final day of election on November 8th. But I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, Anonymous is wrong. They don't know God. They don't know that Donald Trump is a servant of God. And when God speaks, it will be stopped. And they think they're going to spend their millions and it's going to be wasted once again, is the answer. Mem describes the absurdity of Jill Stein's recount effort. Jill Stein only wants recount in states Donald Trump narrowly won. She's leaving states that Trump lost narrowly alone. But it's not going to work anyway. Michigan has already won. They've already had a recount in Michigan. And we won by 10,400. As she says, we deserve elections we can trust. Yes. We deserve politicians we can trust. Certainly isn't you. Colorado, 75,000 vote difference. Maine, 20,000 vote difference. Minnesota, 44,000 vote difference. Nevada, 26,000 vote difference. New Hampshire, 3,000 vote difference. And New Mexico. Yes, the Democrats with their fraud election are... The DNC is so mad that they didn't win, so they're all the ones that are just narrowly they lost, they're trying to get back. But it's not going to work. Why? Because God is behind Donald Trump. You're not going to stop it. They can't seem to figure it out, and they're still trying to fight at it like a bunch of devils climbing out of hell. Busted Reddit CEO caught tampering with Trump supporters' comments. Yes, Reddit is corrupt as well. Reddit.com's company motto is "Don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness." That's exactly what Reddit CEO Steve Huffman did after he admitted to editing user comments that berated him, redirecting those insults toward moderators of Reddit's Donald Trump fan community. From Breitbart, "Yep, I missed with the F you spez comments," Huffman wrote. "As much as we try to maintain a good relationship with you all, it does get old getting called a pedophile constantly. As the CEO, I shouldn't play such games, and it's all fixed now. Our community team is pretty pissed at me, so I most assuredly won't do this again." One user responded, "This unfortunately calls into question the validity of any post made on the entirety of Reddit and raises sincere concerns beyond the Donald. Fake news outlets often cite Reddit posts, which are now revealed to be entirely falsifiable by the admins with no trace. This is a dark day for Reddit." Yeah, my advertising company, Broadband, they recommended me to share my videos on Reddit. And you know what? Every single one of them they never shared. I wonder why. They kept giving me stupid excuses, and it kept coming up in my email. So finally I just said, block that email, turn that email off. You know how you can turn them off? I didn't block them, I just turned them off. No more, responses. While Jill Stein's recount donations are non-refundable, will make perfect sense. Jill Stein cannot promise a successful recount attempt, but will use the donation for other purposes if necessary. This is not being done to benefit one candidate at the expense of the other, Jill Stein says of petition to recount. It's just lies and lies. There is no truth in the land, as it says in Hosea 4. She gets to keep the money when states refuse to pay millions to do recount. No refunds. This is absurdity. We cannot guarantee a recount will happen in any of these states we are targeting. We can only pledge we will demand recounts in those states. If we do not raise enough for any recount, which is highly unlikely, we pledge to use the money for election integrity efforts and to promote voting system reform. If we raise more than what's needed, the surplus will also go toward election integrity efforts. So did she steal your money? Liberals? Did she steal your money? Here are the filing fees and deadlines for each state. Wisconsin, $1.1 million by November 25th. Pennsylvania, $500,000 by November 28th, and Michigan, $0.6 million. Those are filing fees alone. The costs associated with recounts are a function of state law. Attorney fees are likely to be another $1 million. If you wish to donate, you can contribute up to $2,700 on this page. If you wish to throw your money away, sure. Because when God speaks, the world listens. And that is the prophecy through Donald Trump. Anytime Donald Trump makes a slightly interesting speech, it goes massively viral on the internet. Because nobody's listening to these people. 95% of America is ignoring these riots in the street. It's like, get over it. A lot of us know that George Soros is paying them. Moving on to Bernie Sanders, supporters tell fake news media Salon to stop lying about Trump. Al Martinez, a tenured history professor from Austin, Texas, who supported Bernie Sanders, wrote an op-ed to liberal news website Salon to cut it out. Martinez is disturbed by the mainstream media misstating Donald Trump's statement about Mexican rapists. Trump was actually talking about illegal immigrants committing crimes. Of course. I've said this so many times. This is what Trump said. When do we beat Mexico at the border? They're laughing at us, at our stupidity. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. And some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting. You see, again, Donald Trump speaks and Donald Trump listens very well. Unlike you millennials who keep rioting and protesting, you don't listen. You don't listen to when we tell you he is listening to the people, but you are ignorantly running all over because you're getting paid your George Soros money. You should all be ashamed of yourself. You might well dislike Trump's words, I did, but let's not make it worse. He did not say that all Mexicans are rapists, yet that's what many commentators did. Of course, that's why they're all been said by Donald Trump as a bunch of liars. For example, Politico misquoted Trump by omitting his phrase about good people. They said he was demonizing Mexicans as rapists. They argued that Mexicans do not really commit more rapes in the U.S. than whites, but that's not what Trump claimed. It is no wonder that many people think the media is grossly dishonest. No wonder Mr. Trump's critiques of the media make his followers cheer. Trump was discussing crimes committed by unauthorized immigrants. Is it true that some people who illegally cross the border from Mexico are good? Yes, it is true that some others commit crimes. Yes, is that a problem? People disagree. Some conjecture that unauthorized immigrants don't commit more crimes than U.S. citizens, but crimes by unauthorized immigrants, even murders, would not have happened if those individuals had not entered the U.S. The Texas Department of Public Safety identified 207,000 foreign aliens who were booked into Texas county jails from October 2008 through August 1st, 2014. Their term foreign aliens includes both foreigners who are in Texas legally and foreigners who entered illegally. They were accused of 357,000 crimes in those 70 months, including these charges: 4,413 terroristic threats, 60,000 robberies and larcenies, 6,000 vehicle thefts, 78,000 assaults, 12,000 sexual assaults and offenses, 1,100 kidnapping, and 3,000 homicides. Wow. That includes an average of 1,383 charges of sexual assaults per year in Texas alone. Poor Texas is being really just murdered by these people. The real number of rapes and sexual assaults is larger since many victims do not report these crimes. According to the National Crime and Victimization Survey 2008-12, approximately 68% of sexual assault crimes are not reported. So I estimate that foreigners commit roughly 4,000 sexual assaults in Texas each year. In Texas, roughly 529 foreigners per year were accused of committing murder, plus the FBI reports that 36% of homicides nationwide remain unsolved. You see, libertards out there protesting and rioting, this is what you're protesting to continue in the United States. You're protesting more of this to happen, because Donald Trump's going to stop this. But what you're doing is the complete opposite. You're protesting that you want this to happen. And you know what? You're going to get it, because God doesn't judge the righteous with the wicked. He's going to make sure you get it. These crime rates are staggering and offensive. None of the women and men who were killed by unauthorized immigrants in Texas would have died if the murderers had not entered the U.S. illegally. These are not just words. Pause for a moment to think about a Texas woman whose husband was murdered one night. Think about parents who never saw their son again because he was murdered. Think of the thousands of families standing at the cemeteries. Trump says that everyone who didn't enter the U.S. legally should return to their countries. They have to go. We might well disagree, but his view is closer to immigration law. If you prefer amnesty, then lawmakers have to create a law to that effect. Trump insists, I want people to come in, but they have to come in legally. You know, I think it's just so idiotic and retarded that millennials or anyone wants to disagree with Donald Trump on immigration and call him a racist, a bigot, when he's already hired black Ben Carson, when he's already hired plenty of women for his cabinet, 2 of them. Yet you say the complete opposite, that he only hires white male men. You're all retards. It's always a lie. Regardless, many people think that Trump is racist against Mexicans. I suggest that anyone who thinks that should count how many times Trump has praised Mexicans. Clinton voters threaten to kill Electoral College members once again. If Trump wins, he'll be dead within a week. On December 9th, the 22-year-old Banarian is scheduled to join 15 other Michiganders to cast their electoral votes for Republican President-elect Donald Trump. But Trump's opponents have deluged Banarian and other GOP electors with pleas and nasty emails to reverse course and cast their ballots for Clinton. You know, this is a war. This is an internal war in the government that's all been rooted and coming from the Clinton crime syndicate and George Soros and global elites. They know they lost the election, so they're fighting like cats and dogs to get it back. But it's not going to work. All they're doing is causing bloodshed. And it's all because you folks, you liberals, who are totally bamboozled by it all. That you have decided to destroy public property, to shed blood, to hit people in the face, to do anything you can. You don't listen to the news. You don't listen to Donald Trump. You just keep going out there like an idiot, and like one lady protesting with a sign in the middle of the freeway and literally walking into a car doing 70 miles an hour, a young girl. Are you all devil possessed that you can't think? You have people saying, "You're a hateful bigot. I hope you die," he said. I've had people talk about shoving a gun in my mouth and blowing my brains out. I've received dozens and dozens of those emails. Even the non-threatening My Life emails are very aggressive. But the liberals keep saying that we are the bigots, that we are the ones that are going to start war when it is the liberals who have done it. You can't grow up and take the election, the electoral process. You can't take the rules and laws of the land, because you're out of your minds. That's what you are. I mean, it was just yesterday we had a blue-haired 35-year-old woman looking like a crazed nut on camera who got arrested for spray painting the government buildings in Los Angeles. It's just one crazy thing after another. Jill Stein has discovered a page right out of the Clinton Foundation playbook. Jill Stein's backers raised $3 million for the recount efforts. The total cost with lawyer fees included is probably $7 million. The people who are sending her money aren't ever going to see their money again. Oh, another Clinton syndicate crime done on you folks. It has nothing to do with us conservative Christians. Not a thing. But you're going to try and blame us as well. The people who are sending her money aren't ever going to see their money again. It's non-refundable. Looks like Stein just took a page right out of the Clinton Foundation playbook. Congratulations. You're part of that swamp that's going to be drained. Jill Stein. Disgusting. From Semper Fi, Jill Stein has found a new low in stealing money from the public, raising money for cause that has no substance or validity, and she knows it. Oh, she definitely knows it.
Remember when the liberals were saying that Donald Trump was undermining our democracy when he said that he might not accept the results of the election if there was some suspicious activity if he lost? In true hypocritical fashion, countless liberals are still refusing to accept the outcome of this election. Green Party candidate Jill Stein just raised over $2.5 million to launch recounts in 3 states, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, after some conspiracy theorist computer scientists claimed that the electronic voting machines may have been hacked in Wisconsin to steal the election for Donald Trump. The goal was initially set at $2.5 million, which was the supposed cost to initiate the recount, and after countless liberal lunatics actually gave her that money, The goal has now been raised to $4.5 million as Jill Stein continues to cash in on the liberal kooks. Several statisticians have pointed out the real reason for the supposed perceived fake anomalies in the electronic voting machine areas of Wisconsin. Demographics, not hacking, explain the election results. By the way, Michigan doesn't even use electronic voting machines. Chris Thomas, the director of Michigan's Bureau of Elections, says, "We are an entire paper and optical scan state. Nothing is connected to the internet." Jill Stein is trying to explain raising the goal by $2 million is to pay for possible attorney costs, saying they could reach $2 to $3 million. Let's do the math. If the attorney fees are $3 million, attorneys cost about $400 an hour. That's 7,500 hours of billing. Let's say there's a team of 10 attorneys that are working on this, which is probably ridiculous. There's probably 1 or 2, maybe 3. Well, let's just say, for argument's sake, there are 10 attorneys. That's 750 billing hours per attorney. Let's divide that by 40 hours a week. If these attorneys are going to be working full-time on this week after week after week, that's almost 19 weeks. Divide that by 4 weeks per month, that's almost 5 months of a team of 10 attorneys to pay for the recount? Seems like a complete scam to me. This is going to be hilarious when liberals find out once again that Hillary Clinton lost. We're going to get to drink the liberal tears a second time. Of course, the recount is a complete waste of money. And if there's one thing liberals are good at, it's wasting money. I'm Mark Dice. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel here if you're new, and check.
Thank you, Mark, for your intuitive understanding. You know, and a lot of this comes from the idiots, you know, what that the UN, New World Order is doing. I mean, this is a plan that's been going on for ages. UN adopts an education plan to indoctrinate children in globalism. This is what they're doing to the liberals. How schools use fear to brainwash students to trust the system. A parent's story. This is not a very good site, but moving on to Before It's News, David Hodges, The Common Sense Show, brainwashing techniques designed to promote acceptance of the coming genocide. That's right. And The Coming New World Order by Lorraine Day. This is a very good one here. Is there still someone who doesn't believe it? Oh yeah, the millennials, tons of them. And from New Euro, Agenda 21 kindergarten school brainwashing of your children to ignorant, obedient, New World Order perverse sex robots. Very true. From World News Daily, Common Core's real goal? No, dumbing down the people. And that's why Donald Trump wants to get rid of it, so he can stop this brainwashing of the millennials. He knows they're brainwashed. Thank you for listening.